So I found a new Reddit subreddit. It's amazing. There's a lot of cool tips because it's called LifeProTips. But we're gonna go ahead with it after the intro, as always. Because it's amazing. And I've tweaked a little bit of settings, which turned out to be a super, super cool thing. I don't know if this is gonna fuck with me just tomorrow because I've changed from constant bitrate to a variable bitrate, which means that the bitrate inside of the video is gonna vary in just the video, instead of just being constantly the same, like, 300 kilobits per second or some shit, and now it is just varying. And it turned out to be quite good for the CPU usage, which I thought, no, it's just gonna fuck with it completely. On the other hand, the file size just is a third of what it normally is. The other episode that I've recorded today was 25 minutes long, and it was only 1 gigabyte in size, which might be actually quite something, especially for someone that's not having that good of an internet for uploading a gigabyte. It's just fucked up. It really is. But I'm really fortunate in that sense. And the other one was only 1 gigabyte. And normally it is 3 gigabyte or some shit, So this is an insane thing. I do not know if the quality is indeed better. I don't see really a difference, but I don't know. I really don't know. Like, if it is just smaller and stuff, even though I kind of do have a feeling that it is like, I do not want to do it because it is then smaller in size, and I'm a little bit feared that it is worse, even though I don't see any difference and I don't see just any change actually, which is a fucked up thing, just only because it is a fucking number, So, and just, I don't know, uploading is just way faster right now, which is amazing. Of course, after I've edited it and after just all these things, it's going to be 1.5 gigabytes or something, but this is just also just really, really good, and I think in the end, I'm not going to have too many problems with uploading then again, but yeah. It's not what the episode is all about, because the episode is all about this amazing subreddit. There is just, and I've actually been searching for exactly this thing, as I've been going through things back before. But it is essentially all about like life pro tips or life tips about various different things, from miscellaneous to arts to animals to social to food and drink to career and work to computers to traveling to, is there something else that I just see? School and college. Like, there's various different things, and we're gonna just go through them because I think they're pretty nice and pretty amazing and pretty cool. So yeah. LPT, which stands for Life Pro Tips, by the way, in the social section. It is okay to be selfish when it comes to your health right now. Be clear and stern when it comes to the boundaries you need to feel safe. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Sometimes actually being selfish is kind of a must in some ways. In some other ways, no, completely not. Fucked up and unimportant shit. Train your dog with both audible and visual cues to ensure they will know what you want when they get old. Which, as I've been reading it, I gotta have to say, like, it just makes sense. But nobody fucking, I think, thinks about it. Unless you're just a dog trainer or some shit like that. Then you might be thinking about it. But I think it's just really an important and just cool thing. Quite. Now is a great time to pay off your federal student loans. Your loan servicer knows this and likely disabled autopay. I see. Yeah. I don't know about the system, I am not from the United States, and I just also not having any loans just anyway. So yeah. If a business asks you for your name, always include your middle initial with a different letter to track who's selling your information. Really interesting. As I've also been reading it, I gotta have to say, like, yeah, really. Even though I don't know if this is like legal, to do that. I mean, because it's not your name then, not your real name then. But I think just using synonyms, and this, by the way, is also something that's Tim Ferriss was talking about in an article of him, which was a really cool one, and I've also went through it. It's been about the down and upsides of being famous. And he said that he most often uses just wrong names. He's not using Tim Ferriss as his name. And I think it just makes sense, of course, because there's a lot of fucking shit going on, especially when you're just moving or going to foreign countries and stuff. Then yeah, I think it just makes sense, for your own safety. Why not, actually? Arts and culture. If you're having trouble getting to bed because you're stuck with watching a binge-worthy show, pause midway through the episode. The end is usually a cliffhanger and will get you watching more. Indeed. Even though both things are not going to be easy and that nice, but I would say so. I think this is a great tip. Food and drink. If you want to make a recipe that requires toothpicks, anything wrapped in bacon for example, but don't have toothpicks, use a piece of dry spaghetti instead. But you could also just use strings, I guess, if they're called like that. I don't fucking know. No, I don't just know, but they're not called strings. But you could use them, because why not? I don't know what the downsides of them are. Maybe they just kind of go into the food and stuff because, could be the case. But yeah, anyway, miscellaneous. Parents, always give your kid a choice that makes them feel in control. I think it is just always a good idea for everyone. Is there actually more to it if I click on it? Yeah. For instance, instead of asking, do you want to take a bath? To your toddler, say, do you want your bath hot or cold? Okay. While this trick may be simple, you would be surprised at how much easier it is, how much easier it makes your life. Allowing your kids to think they are in control is the ultimate way to parent. In fact, this can sometimes work on adults. I think it always works on adults because we all like to be in control. We all like to just at least feel in control. We not always are, but we not always are. But we like that. We really indeed like that. Cool tip. I appreciate that. LPD about careers and work. Don't think of your salary as a representation of your value or worth. It only represents the amount that's agreed between you and your employer, nothing else. Indeed. Even though it's maybe the value the company sees in you. Because, probably the CEO is just having a higher salary than most other people. Because the company is in need of the CEO, and the CEO has a lot of fucking just responsibility. Really has, or she has, So yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. I'm not quite sure about that. Let's see. Social rejection is okay. Think of it in this way: when you're rejected from something, you're just redirected to something better. Yeah, probably. I think in the end it's always the case. Kind of. Just, if things happen, they just happen. If you're not able to do something because of some things that you can't do anything about, then it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. Of course, it's just easily said, but it's not that easy to be done. But I don't know. If something happens and because of this thing you can't do something else. For example, at this point in time, not being able to just have a holiday in the summer months, then yeah, it is a fucked up thing and it is not cool, but what should you be doing? You can't do anything about it. So maybe it's even just how things should be or should have been. So yeah, computers. If you're tired of watching movies where some parts are barely audible and other parts are too loud, you should enable loudness equalization. It's probably a Windows thing, I guess. Maybe he says or she says more about it. If you're on a Windows PC, then simply right-click on the speaker icon on the bottom right of this taskbar, select Open Volume Mixer, click on your speaker and output device, go to Enhancements tab, and here just tick the loudness equalization box. Alternatively, you could go to Control Panel, click Hardware and Sound, click Manage Audio Devices, double-click on your speaker's output device, go to Enhancement and enable loudness equalization. No more adjusting the volume between scenes. Actually, pretty cool thing. Really, really cool thing. I wonder if this is also a thing for Mac. There must be some programs, of course, it's always going to be most often. Not always, but most often. Yeah, actually pretty, even though I'm not having just this problem really often, just at all, I would also say. But yeah. Traveling. If you're transporting anything secured with straps, stop 200 to 300 meters down the road and retension your straps. The load will settle in this time and the straps will be loose. You would have to do this all the fucking time, isn't it the case? But I think it makes sense to just readjust it from time to time because indeed, nobody says it is going to stay the same. No. Social. Understand your flaws. Even if you disagree with them, because if you can understand your flaws, even those you disagree with, then you can stand much stronger in your convictions and your reasoning on who you really are. Yeah. Yeah. Indeed the case. Kind of. Really indeed the case. Makes sense. I appreciate that. I like that. Woo. Let's see. People will always go for the weakest points of your argument. Makes sense. So make sure you make even the smallest point solid and don't include anything not completely relevant to providing your pointers that may be focused on instead. Huge point. huge thing, I would say. Is there an example? No, there's not. Anyway, I think it is a huge point. I think it is a really important and cool one as well, because yeah, you know, it is. You know, people are always gonna pick what's really what is just wrong. You know, whether you know it is wrong or not doesn't matter. You know, which by the way, you know, a little story, which by the way pisses me off quite a lot, because for example, when you're making something in school, when I've been making a project in school, for example, I actually kind of have to make sure that I'm not fucking my cable, because I just see that, you know, it's just not that well off. If you're doing something in school, and as I've done some things in school, some projects, some work, some design work, people are always gonna see the mistakes as mistakes. Whether you know that it is wrong or not, they don't give a fuck, you know? And it could be kind of a fucked up thing if you just know that it is wrong. You know, that you've done something and you're just not fully done yet. You know, you just want to give it to your teacher to just make sure that you're on the right path. But they're always going to point out that this and that and these and those is wrong. If you see it or not, doesn't fucking matter. They're always going to point it out. You know, which can be an annoying thing, because yeah, of course, I see that it is fucked up and I see that there's something wrong with it. But I don't know. Maybe I also don't give a fuck about it. You know, maybe this is just also how I am intending it to be. I don't know. It is a fucked up thing. But of course, I think it makes sense. You know, they just point out everything, I guess. So, and they also don't know. You know, I think in that sense, it is also just very important to just step into their feet and into their shoes and just try seeing things in their light and how they are maybe seeing things. And then you're going to actually realize, well, indeed, you can download hundreds of books for free, including 1984 and Animal Farm on snoot.com. I do kind of low-key want to try it out. Maybe there's a link. No, there's not. If it is something illegal, I don't give a shit. No, I do give a shit. Free books created for book lovers everywhere. Animal Farm, 1984. Isn't it the case that there's like hundreds of just thousands of different covers of George Orwell's, 1984? Even though like this is a cool one because they have been using not the normal numbers, but are they called Roman numbers? I don't know in English, but these numbers, which are just way cooler. I know, especially if you're using them with non-capitalized letters, so with the small ones, so the regular ones, then it just looks better. But this is it is a website, and yeah, anyway, I just do also not want to promote any illegal stuff anyway, so yeah, but also, yeah, it is what it is. LPT, take more pictures of your loved ones. When they are gone, you will always wish you had more pictures of them, never less. Yes, indeed, like in every different situations, you know, every day wonder something, you can actually also make a habit out of it. Why not? Getting sick of all the face-to-face Zoom meetings and classes that have no purpose? Record a 30-second video of yourself with your webcam, set it as your Zoom virtual background and cover your webcam. You'll still technically be there, but now you can do other stuff without people watching. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I think just unnecessary meetings is a problem, like for just a lot of, I don't want to say industries, but I kind of also want to say industries. But if you know what I mean. But yeah, but it is what it is. I think it is just better than nothing. You know, I do just feel that it is an amazing thing to see my colleagues and see my people and see those faces, and also just writing with them. Just shout out to my boy, you know who I mean, and you know that I mean you. It just is a really, really, really amazing thing for me. Just being able to just write somebody, you know, and write in the groups and just having a little bit of fun, just doing some shit and stuff. Like, it's important, I think. You know, it is important. And I still, I do want to dedicate a little bit of time to that. I think it is one of the saddest things that I've encountered in my life, maybe, that I'm not able to see all those people in school at this point in time. It actually kind of makes me sad, to be honest, because it's my last year with them. I know it's my last year just hanging out with them, and I'm not able to spend it with them. You know, I'm not able, like, whether it is actually my friends or whether it is just some people in my class, I don't give a shit. You know, I just want to spend the time with them, the last bit of it. You know, of course, there is upsides and just definitely a lot of downsides of what what life is right now, and I just only can make just the best out of it, of course. But yeah, it just is a little bit of a sad thing. Just is a little bit of a sad thing that I can't just spend time with them, at least not in person. Of course, I could call everyone and be like, "How are you?" But I would also not necessarily say that it is something they just really enjoy or some shit. So yeah, it's just shout out to all the guys and to all the girls and the people. I appreciate everyone, like really indeed. I think it's been one of the best decisions maybe that I've ever made, even though I think I don't know, attending this school, it's been a huge part for me, and I think it just also made myself to the person that I am right now. And yeah, huge shout out to the people, huge fucking shout out to the people. I really appreciate you, everyone, and I just really wish and hope that you all are just finding purpose in life, if you will, and find the thing you really want to do. I really hope that, and just stay healthy. Really hope that from the bottom of my heart. Coming back to the video, if I can, I do wonder why I sometimes can't use my hotkeys any longer, because at this point in time they're not working, but I don't know why. Anyway, no, thank you. I just didn't want to click on you. Thank you. Make it a habit to delete your account from applications before uninstalling them from your phone. I don't give a shit about that. I really don't. Work can only be too of good, fast and cheap. True of good, so fast and cheap. I don't get it. You can remove splinters using baking soda. I don't know what splinters are. There's a very good chance that pregnant woman does not want to hear about how pleasant your pregnancy was. Well, yeah. Oh, I just now get it. Very good chance that pregnant woman, that pregnant woman over there. Yes, I would say so. I think it is kind of in general the case, kind of low key. If somebody lived through a certain life and you just tell them how you've done it and how you've seen it. Like, of course, if it is a conversation, then it's something different. But being like, hey, I'm pregnant as well, and it's been just such a huge and amazing time. Like, and just telling your fucking life story. Like, I don't know if they want to hear that. And the last one for today is going to be, don't be so quick to hate somebody. I'm not going to say anything to it, but it's amazing. I think so as well. The question of today is, what is something that you've learned and that you've seen as well that you could just post into the subreddit? And just probably, and maybe even just make something really cool happen, and just being able to help those people. I don't know. I think we all can do something, and we all have something that we could share. But yeah, this is the end of the video. So I wish you the best health, wealth, happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself when you're going to be remembered. Which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, then being remembered as a nice person. 3 other questions that I'm having for you are, why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a huge and cool thing. But yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to see you the next time. So bye-bye.